Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. So the last thing you want to do is make a mistake that costs you thousands, or worse, makes you lose the home you love. In this video, I'm breaking down the 5 biggest mistakes buyers make, and trust me, I've seen them all. Stick around because mistake number 5 could make or break your entire deal. Hi, my name is Aguinaga, your Montreal real estate expert with LJ Realties. Over the years, I've helped countless buyers navigate the real estate market, and I've seen every mistake in the book. Buying a home is exciting, but if you don't know what you're doing, you could lose money, overpay, or even miss out on your dream home. So today, I'm sharing 5 things that you should never do when buying a home. Let's dive right in. But before I do, I want to give a quick shout out to the Atwater Club where we are filming today. This place is an amazing gym and events venue. I personally work out here at least 4 times a week, and I love the service, I love the atmosphere, I love the people. So if you're looking for a new gym in the downtown area, I highly recommend you check out the Atwater Club, one of Montreal's oldest fitness institutions. Now, if you're liking the content here, please remember to subscribe to this video or just give us a like to make sure that we know that you're enjoying the content we're putting out. Without further ado, let's start right out with this list. Number 1, never visit a home without representation. One of the biggest mistakes buyers make is thinking they can go at it alone. Some believe visiting a home directly through the listing agent will help them get a better deal. But here's the truth. The listing agent works for the seller, not for you. You could end up overpaying or missing key details that an experienced buyer's agent would have caught. You don't pay for a buyer's agent, the seller does. So why not have someone in your corner? Now, I've seen this happen time and time again. I see it on our listings even. I see it with clients who are talking about to start working with us. Everybody thinks I'm gonna get the best deal if I go straight to the listing broker. And the reality is they have an obligation, a legal obligation to represent the seller's best interests. That means not represent your best interests. Therefore, my recommendation, always use a buyer's agent. The buyer's agent who's been hired by you to represent your interests will make sure that they know what's happening in the neighborhood, will make sure to pull sales comparables, will make sure to read through the seller's declaration in detail and pick up on things that you probably will have missed because you don't read seller's declarations every single day. This is the reality of the matter. And like we mentioned before, it's completely free to you. The commissions have already been discussed with the seller and the listing agent. Everything's already built into the deal. So you going directly to the listing agent just means that the listing agent is making double the commission. There is no savings and commissions anywhere. That's not what's about to happen here. So I highly recommend and encourage and almost plead you to go with a buyer's agent to represent your interests, because if you're making the largest investment of your life, you want to make sure that you have representation. If you'd like, feel free to book a call with myself. I'd be more than happy to walk you through the buyer's process, do a consultation with you, and explain to you what you need to know to buy a property. After that, if you like how that goes, we can start working together. Number 2, never show how excited you are about a property. This is a common mistake. Buyers will walk into a home and immediately start talking about how much they love it, how they can see their furniture here and their kids there and this and that. Sellers and sellers' agents are going to use this against you. That's the reality. If we know in a negotiation that you are absolutely in love, that you are emotionally attached to this property, we're not going to be as flexible with the price. So you lose the leverage in the negotiation. You want to walk in and make sure that you can showcase that, yeah, we like this house, but it's not the be-all, end-all. So make sure you hide your emotions. You want to keep that poker face on a super high, tight level. Whenever you're viewing a home, if you love it, you can talk about it with your agent after the visit. You can highlight some of the good, you can highlight some of the bad, and then when you're done the visit, when you're outside of the property, because sometimes properties have cameras and microphones and stuff of that nature inside them, you can speak openly with your agent about all the things that you actually loved and the things that you're actually not so in love with. But you want to make sure you keep your cards closed so that in the negotiation, this does not come back to bite you in the behind. Make sure you keep that poker face at all times and don't show overexcitement because it will work against you. Number 3, never visit a home without a pre-approval. Can you imagine walking into a home, falling in love with it, and then finding out you can't afford it? Or another buyer with a pre-approval swoops in and takes it underneath you? It is absolutely brutal to be in that situation. This is why a pre-approval matters. It tells you exactly how much you can afford so that you don't waste time, so that you don't become emotionally attached to a property that you can't afford. It allows sellers to take you seriously. If you've taken the time to get pre-approved, the seller knows that you're ready to rock and roll and that you are going to be able to afford this property and that we're not going to have any hiccups when it comes time to financing. So I've even had it happen to clients on my own. And whenever we work with somebody new, Over the years, the first step is that buyer's consultation. The second part of that buyer's consultation is, are you pre-approved? Let's get you pre-approved. If you're not, I send you a list of mortgage brokers to start talking to and start getting that whole thing undergoing. But sometimes it's happened even to me that I'm working with a buyer who is an old friend, somebody who I've known for many, many, many years, and somebody who I know what they do, what their income levels are, etc. So I'm not expecting there to be any issues. So I don't hammer it down as hard as I typically do. It happened once where we went out, we started seeing some properties, and we fall in love with the property. The client absolutely loves this property. It needs to be their house. They see their kids growing up here. They see their kids running down this hallway. The parents then come to see the property. The parents start to fall in love with the property. And then we go through the financing, which is supposed to be smoothly because, again, expected income levels, expected debt levels, etc. And they hadn't gotten their pre-approval. They hadn't finished it. They had started speaking to somebody. We jumped the gun. And by jumping the gun, we were not ready to get into a multiple offer situation. And when push came to shove and the seller had two offers in front of them, one was pre-approved, the other one was not pre-approved, they went with the sure thing. They went with the pre-approved offer. It didn't matter that we were willing to offer $5,000 or $10,000 more. The seller needed to know in that minute who was ready to purchase that property, and we were not that couple. And ever since then, regardless of my relationship with the buyer, regardless of how much I know, I don't want anyone else to go through that emotional loss, so I ensure that we have a pre-approval in hand before we visit a single property. I'm happy to send you properties online to start checking online, do some window shopping, but we can't go visit until we have that pre-approval in hand. Number 4, never ignore your budget. Know your numbers. Many buyers focus on what the bank approves them for, rather than what they're comfortable spending. But just because a bank approves you for $800,000 doesn't mean you should max it out. Here's some things that you should consider. What's the monthly mortgage payment? It should fit into your lifestyle and not stress you out. Don't forget the extra property costs. We're talking about taxes, condo fees, maintenance, insurance, utilities. All of these things add up. If you go with a variable mortgage rate, can you cover an increasing mortgage rate? Over the last couple of years, we saw interest rates jump up dramatically, and we saw people's mortgage payments almost double throughout that period. Are you prepared for that to happen to you? If you're not, you better make sure you go with a fixed rate. So make sure you know your numbers. I can promise you that every single person who has a normal salary employment, if you go with what the bank offers you as a pre-approval amount, it's always way more than you're gonna be comfortable with. It effectively leaves you with almost no money to go out for dinner, go on vacation, buy gifts for your nieces, uncles, loved ones, etc. You wanna make sure that you give yourselves a little bit of buffer and don't max it out. So please, 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 just because the bank says you can afford $1 million, we probably shouldn't be going to that. I always recommend staying a little bit below that to give yourself a bit of breathing room, because nobody wants to be house poor. Then everybody gets angry at me, they think it's my fault, but reality is you should have done a better job of knowing your budget and making sure you're comfortable with what you're about to spend. Number 5, never buy without researching the neighborhood. Many buyers focus on only the house and forget to research the area. This is a huge mistake. Before you buy, you should ask yourself, is it close to my work, my transit, or my schools? Or the things that I like to do when I'm not at those things? What are the crime rates like? What are the developments that are planned in the neighborhood? Here's a real story for you. I had clients fall in love with a house, but after researching the neighborhood, they realized that it wasn't a fit for them. No grocery stores nearby, high traffic, or upcoming zone changes that would impact the area and their day-to-day lives. Make sure you've done the research to avoid any of these things. Now here's a pro tip for you. Visit the area at different times of day and talk to the neighbors to get a real feel for what the community is like before you make an offer. If you do this and take the time to really immerse yourself, I always tell people like, hey, we're gonna go to an area that you're not so familiar with, that you're unsure about, go Saturday morning. Spend the entire day there, walk around, go to the coffee shops, go grab brunch somewhere, go for lunch somewhere else, talk to some of the people in the street, go to the parks. You always see young families at the parks. They're gonna tell you what it's like to live in this area. They're gonna tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, what they love, what they dislike. Get real insight from real people who live in the neighborhood. They have no skin in the game, if you will, so you can get a non-biased opinion about what is the good, the bad, and the ugly for that neighborhood, and therefore prepare you to make the best decision possible. And you might even end up making a new friend. You know, people in Montreal are quite friendly. And here's a bonus tip for you. Don't forget to read the fine print. This is a huge mistake I see buyers make. Many people sign without fully understanding the contract. Now, just because I see this contract several times a day, doesn't mean that you've seen it several times a day. Whenever we send you the contract, it's always via email for you to review before signing. And then we always offer to read through that contract with you line by line. I understand that for many buyers, the first time or the second time that they're reviewing this, they're not super familiar with it. So it's our pleasure to walk you through every single part of the contract so you understand exactly what you're signing, what we're getting ourselves into, and can help you highlight if there's any hidden costs or clauses that might affect your resale or anything of that nature. So I want to make sure you have all the information on your side before making any decisions. That's really our priority, educating you every step of the way so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. Some of the things that do come up sometimes are there any restrictions with the renovations? What happens if there's any issues during the home inspection? What documents are we asking to review during the document review period? How much time do we have for financing? Can we do an additional inspection for the drain or anything like that? What to know before we actually go to the notary? There's tons of things that I want to go over with you, so please make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you take time to go over with your broker everything that's in that contract so that you are prepared for the next steps. Now, did I miss any tips? What's the biggest mistake you've seen someone make when purchasing a property? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video and following along. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not already, or give us a thumbs up. It makes sure that we are ready to provide more content for the Montreal real estate market and keep you guys up to date on everything that's going on right now. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly or book a meeting with me. My information is right below in the description. I love meeting with new buyers or sellers and just helping people understand what's happening in the Montreal real estate market and how we can help you reach your real estate dreams. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.